Tifo is delighted to offer 30-day free trials to read the work of our colleagues at The Athletic, the new home of football writing. Gent's Jonathan David is the outstanding young talent in the Jupiler League. He's the highest scorer with 18 goals, and that's of any player, not just the under-23s that we're looking at. His 7 assists put him top of the league among the under-23s. It's worth noting, though, that his combined 25 goals and assists, including 15 non-penalty goals, come from an expected goals plus assists of just 16.2 according to Wyscout. That means he's overachieving in relation to expectations, and that could see him producing less in the future. David is an all-round attacking threat. Playing in the front two of Gent's 4-3-1-2, he's capable of driving directly at the defence from broken play, dropping off to link or create for his strike partner or an onrushing midfielder, or pulling wide to drag crosses back. He manages 4.6 dribbles per 90 at a 51% success rate and makes 1.8 progressive runs and 1.9 deep completed passes per 90, all indicative of a player who can do lots of things at an above average rate. And that's before his own goal scoring ability in the box is factored in. David possesses speed and positional acumen, scoring predatory goals by timing his runs between the centre-backs or attacking the channel. His dribbling and control at pace mean that even when pressured, he can keep the ball long enough to carve out a chance in tight areas. Witness his hat-trick goal against St Truiden in February. His 2.6 shots per 90 at 54% accuracy is good for a player who also drops off so much. And the floating role that allows him to drop off as much as play off the shoulder means he's capable of assisting with clever through balls, pulled back crosses or deft layoffs from a variety of positions. Yerry Vahran is a versatile creative player who's played in central midfield but as the progressive mover and passer, as an attacking midfielder, and even cropped up on the flanks of a 4-3-3. Trusted from the beginning of the season by Vincent Kompany to start games, the young playmaker has racked up a good number of appearances for his club and played for the Belgian national side, before an injury in December saw him miss 7 games. He's a quick, tricky player with excellent feet, especially in tight areas, an eye for a creative pass, and adept at carrying the ball forwards. His end product has not been exceptional. This season, he's managed 2 goals from an XG of 2.8 and 1 assist. The variety of positions he's played in also makes judging him from numbers alone difficult, but his 3.3 dribbles per 90 at 46% success and 2.4 touches in the box per 90 show that he gets forwards with the ball well for a largely midfield-based player. His passing is again indicative of a burgeoning creative talent. 3.3 final third passes, 3.5 passes into the penalty area, and 2 deep completed passes or crosses all per 90. And 6.5 progressive passes per 90 at 78% accuracy. As an all-round midfielder, he weighs in despite his relatively slender frame and 5'8" height. He makes 6 defensive duels per 90 with a 66% success rate and 2.9 interceptions per 90. But the eye test is where Vahran stands out. He has moments of real excellence, driving runs that end in beautifully judged through passes, intelligent crosses drifted into the box, excellent acceleration and close control. He's able to play through the centre or from either flank, offering a threat cutting inside to drive at the channels from left wing or carrying the ball through the middle. His acceleration and low centre of gravity makes his runs hard to stop, and naturally he's drawn comparisons with Eden Hazard. While he can play wide, he's probably best as a 10 or as the kind of inside forward who plays in a narrow 4-2-3-1. 6'3" Belgium youth defender Platinx has been playing on the right-hand side of a back 4 for Yerry Vahran this season. The side have conceded 49 goals, the 6th worst in the league, and that might not bode well for the robust defender, but he has shown enough in a relatively poor side to suggest he's playing well below his eventual level. Platinx is consistently scanning around for the positions of his own teammates and his opponents. If he pushes forwards for an aerial duel, he makes 2.7 of those per 90 at a 36% success rate, which could improve. He quickly gets back to Zolta's defensive line. His front foot defense is good too, with 6.2 interceptions per 90, which sits well with his 6.6 defensive duels per 90, 176% of the time. His one-on-one defending is also strong. Platinx's passing needs some work, although Zulte are hardly a progressive team. He has a fairly standard 85% passing accuracy, largely shifting the ball sideways or with short passes forwards to a dropping midfielder, but he manages 5.6 progressive passes and 4.1 final third passes per 90. These are mostly long passes towards the centre forward, often if the right back is pushed up and Platinx can push over into the right-hand half space or wide area. His long pass accuracy is an improvable 48%. There is a question mark over his discipline, although many of the fouls he gives away are due to his physicality when trying to get ahead to win the ball. He can be rash. 2 yellows and 1 red in 21 league games, as well as several penalties conceded both in the league and for the Belgian under-19s, shows that. But this is probably a composure issue too. Platinx is having to cover a lot of space and ground and can be rushed into decisions because his teammates don't afford the right level of cover at all times. He has the requisite physical attributes to build on his awareness and positional sense to become a leading defender. If he can iron out some issues with decision making and work on his passing, he could excel. John Lukumi is one of a number of great young players at Genk, a club famed for their academy and their scouting. Perhaps Genk's brightest prospect, Brian Heynen, is out with his second cruciate ligament injury in 3 seasons. So we've gone for Colombian centre-back Lukumi, though his compatriot Carlos Cuesta also merits a mention. Genk play with a back 4 and Lukumi lines up on the left side and is predominantly left-footed. He's a 6'1" defender who likes to play the ball on the front foot, but has the speed to recover his position or the tactical awareness to fill in the midfield line if, for example, Genk are counter-attacked from a corner. His positioning is good, though his one-on-one defending occasionally sees him caught out if he stands a player up. He's at his best either pushing forwards to get the ball first, winning 6.1 interceptions per 90, or playing with covering depth, using his athleticism and positional sense to sweep behind a more man-marking style of defender. He wins 74% of his 7 defensive duels per 90. Of defenders in the league getting regular minutes in the age bracket we're considering, that's third behind Moucron's Diogo Queiroz and Platinx. Lukumi's passing is also good. While he's happiest playing short passes sideways or back, or linking with a deep dropping midfielder, he occasionally shows an eye for a more penetrative vertical pass. He could be more proactive here though. And he's got surprisingly good feet when pressured and can work himself a little room to find a pass. He also often tries clipping longer passes from his left to Genk's right-hand side, where exciting young Danish fullback Joachim Mahler is a source of attacking threat. Lukumi's long passing, 7.2 per 90 at 68.7% accuracy over an average length of 41 metres, is a useful outball for Genk that can produce good attacking opportunities. Strong, defensively sound, and with a strong range of passing, Lukumi looks like a good Premier League level defender in waiting. Maxim Busi is a tall, quick right-back who's been getting regular first-team minutes at Jupiler. They've impressed as a team this season, especially at the back, where they've conceded the second fewest goals, just 23 from an expected goals against of 30.2. Busi has been a key part of this, racking up an impressive 10.9 defensive duels per 90, won 63% of the time, as well as 3.4 aerial duels at 51% and 5.4 interceptions per 90. He can pose a threat going forwards too, with 2.5 dribbles at 52% success and 2.3 progressive runs per 90. His 62% passing accuracy for forward passes could be better, but he's largely looking to create an overlap outside Jupiler's right wing and either float or drag back across. Nonetheless, Busi can get the ball forwards well, with 6.7 passes into the final third at 56% accuracy, 2.7 passes ending in the penalty area and 9.2 progressive passes at 75%, all per 90. His ability to balance this with assertive defending is impressive. Busi can at times push forwards too quickly, and this can leave holes in the defensive line as he moves out wide to close the space. He's not quite quick enough to take on the fastest wingers one-on-one either, and this means he should learn to not be quite as proactive, but rather keep the overall defensive shape of the line better. But for a young player who only made his senior debut in the 2018-19 season, he's been a very effective part of a very effective defensive unit, and has the capacity to play at a higher level. It's scouting week at Tifo, and to celebrate, we're offering 30-day free trials to The Athletic. where you can really get under the hood of your team. With dedicated journalists for every Premier League team and correspondents for La Liga, the Bundesliga and Serie A, not to mention hundreds of journalists for 10 other sports, there is no better place to read comprehensively about your favourite teams. See the link in the description to sign up for free now for 30 days and join Tifo at The Athletic.